Imagine going to sleep one night speaking your normal voice, only to wake up the next morning with an accent you never had. Or even more shocking, speaking a language you never learned. This strange medical mystery is called foreign accent syndrome, and fewer than 100 cases have ever been confirmed. But each case feels like something out of a science fiction movie. Some scientists call it a brain glitch, while others wonder if it's evidence of something more mysterious, perhaps even memories from a past life. Part 1. The first recorded cases. The very first known case goes back to 1941 during World War II. A Norwegian woman was struck in the head by bomb shrapnel during an air raid. When she recovered, her voice shocked everyone around her. She no longer sounded Norwegian. Her accent was unmistakably German. In Nazi-occupied Norway, this was a dangerous problem. Neighbors treated her with suspicion, thinking she might be a traitor. But doctors discovered she wasn't faking. It was her brain injury that caused her to unconsciously change her speech pattern. This was the beginning of what the world would later call foreign accent syndrome. Part 2. Speaking languages never learned. Some of the strangest cases involve people who suddenly spoke languages they had never studied properly. In Croatia, a teenage girl once fell into a coma after a car accident. When she woke up, she shocked her doctors and parents by speaking fluent German. She had only studied a little German in school, but now she spoke it perfectly, while struggling to remember Croatian, her own native tongue. In the United States, a man in Arizona reportedly woke from a coma speaking fluent Mandarin Chinese, even though he had never studied it deeply before. His case baffled doctors, who believed his brain had somehow unlocked hidden memories from when he had briefly been around Chinese speakers. How can the brain suddenly rearrange itself in such a way? This is a question science still cannot fully answer. Part 3. How science explains it. Doctors believe the answer lies in the brain's language centers. When someone suffers trauma, like a stroke, seizure, or head injury, the brain may rewire how speech is produced. This can cause a shift in rhythm, pitch, and word formation, which makes it sound like the person is speaking in a completely new accent. But the cases where people speak entirely new languages remain deeply mysterious. Some scientists say it's possible these people had hidden exposure to the language, maybe through school lessons, television, or neighbors, that the brain stored away unconsciously. Trauma, they suggest, may unlock that hidden knowledge. Still, no one can explain how someone can suddenly speak fluently when they never had that skill before. And that is where science begins to blur with the unknown. Part 4. Real Case Study. Karen Butler. One of the most famous modern cases is Karen Butler, an American woman from Oregon. Karen went in for routine dental surgery in 2011. When she woke up, she felt different, but the real shock came when she spoke. Instead of her normal American accent, her voice sounded like it came from Ireland or England. At first, she thought it was just the after effects of the anesthesia, but days passed, and the accent didn't go away. Friends and family were stunned. Some even accused her of faking it. Doctors diagnosed her with foreign accent syndrome. Karen's brain had been affected in a way that permanently altered how she spoke. More than a decade later, she still speaks with that accent, and her old voice never returned. Part 5. Real Case Study. Michelle Myers. Another shocking case is Michelle Myers, a woman from Arizona. In 2018, Michelle went to bed with a severe headache. When she woke up, she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Her own voice no longer sounded American. She now spoke with a British accent. But that wasn't the strangest part. Over the years, Michelle has woken up with different accents at different times. Once, she sounded Australian. Another time, she spoke with an Irish accent. Doctors confirmed she wasn't making it up. Her brain was genuinely shifting the way it processed speech. Michelle's life was turned upside down. At first, she felt embarrassed and isolated, but later she accepted it as part of her identity. Her story gained international attention, making her one of the most recognized modern cases of foreign accent syndrome. Part 6. Real Case Study. George from China. A little-known but extraordinary case happened to a man named George, a U.S. Navy veteran. After being hit on the head in a car accident, George woke up in the hospital speaking fluent Chinese. What made this shocking is that George had no Chinese heritage and had never studied the language beyond a few simple words. His doctors and friends were speechless. Over time, some of the fluency faded, but he retained the ability to understand and say full sentences in Chinese, as if the injury had unlocked something hidden deep inside his brain. Cases like George's blur the line between neurology and mystery. Was his brain storing fragments of Chinese he once overheard? Or had trauma opened the door to knowledge beyond his own experience? Part 7. The Human Impact. For those who live through it, foreign accent syndrome is not just a medical mystery, it's a deeply emotional journey. Some people lose their sense of identity. Imagine your family saying, "You don't sound like you anymore." Karen Butler once said she felt like a different person living in her own body. Michelle Myers described it as both a curse and a gift. And George's case raised the haunting question: what else is hidden in the human brain? Part 8. The Unsolved Mystery. Foreign accent syndrome remains one of the most puzzling conditions ever recorded. Science explains some of it, but not all. Could these cases simply be brain damage and hidden memory? Or are they glimpses of something far stranger? Memories from past lives? Or proof that the human mind is far more powerful than we can imagine? One thing is certain. Our voices are not just sounds. They are part of our very identity. And when that identity changes overnight, the mystery becomes more than medical. It becomes human. Bonus part: Hollywood and media portrayals. Foreign accent syndrome has not only puzzled doctors, it has also captured the imagination of storytellers. Hollywood and television have often used it as a dramatic twist, a way to explore identity, memory, and mystery. In many TV shows, a character suddenly waking up with a new voice is treated as something magical or even supernatural. For example, in medical dramas, the condition is sometimes shown as the result of a head injury or a stroke, just like in real life. But in thrillers and science fiction movies, the change is often tied to hidden identities, government experiments, or even past lives. Documentaries and news features have also played a big role in shaping public interest. Programs on networks like the BBC and Discovery have showcased real patients such as Karen Butler and Michelle Myers, allowing millions of viewers to see how this condition truly affects people's lives. These shows blend real science with human emotion, making audiences both curious and sympathetic. Social media has brought the phenomenon even more attention. Videos of people suddenly speaking in different accents often go viral, sparking debates. Are they faking it? Or is this proof of something science can't explain? Through films, series, and online videos, foreign accent syndrome has moved from rare medical journals into popular culture. And while Hollywood sometimes exaggerates it for drama, these portrayals keep the mystery alive, showing that the human brain and the voices it creates still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. What do you think? Are these people unlocking hidden memories? Or do you believe something supernatural is happening? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's strangest mysteries.